Oh, good morning out there in YouTube land, and good morning to all my YouTube friends. It's Sandman. Yeah, you caught me waking up, and I'm still in my robe and my PJs, as you can see, and my slippers. Um, Today's video is to quote Monty Python. Now it's time for something completely different. I'm going to talk about anime and manga today, and it's going to be one of my favorite characters of all time. It is a cartoon when I was living in Los Angeles. I grew up watching, unfortunately, without subtitles. Uh, the character is just incredible, and that character is none other than space pirate Captain Harlock, who has a very long history in manga, anime, American release, and believe it or not, American comic books as well. Um, I do not have any figures or statues of him because most of those things are very high end now, and my wife would kill me to spend 3, 4, 500 bucks on a statue or a figure or a remake of the Arcadia, his ship, or Death Shadow, his other ship, depending on which series you ran. So it has to stay with what I got. For those of you who don't know, uh, it originally was a manga series created by the legendary manga creator Leiji Matsumoto, who made an incredible universe, um, which I call the Leiji verse, and I think that's kind of well known. With Space Pirate Captain Harlock, Space Pirate Queen Emeraldus, uh, Starship, or well, actually, it's Space Battleship Yamato. Everybody knows that show. It came to America as Star Blazers, and Galaxy Express 999. This was the first manga of Captain Harlock. These are reprinted and put out by Seven Seas Entertainment. It's three big, hefty hardback volumes, as you can see. And this is the complete series that ran in Japan for 2 years from 1977 to 1979. Um, volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And the whole story takes place in 2977, the year 2977. Earth has been complacent, they're stagnating, and Captain Harlock was put in exile, basically. He's one of these stoic Sigma anti hero types. He has a very strong moral, individualistic, and noble code that he lives by. And he's kind of sickened by what has happened to humanity. Okay. Um, so, in his exile, him and a band of other outcasts who follow him and believe the way he believes in the things he does, um, they go ahead and just travel in space. They fight injustice, evil, alien invasions, and the main one in the original manga is a female plant race, and I can't think of their name. Okay, but really cool. In fact, the second volume here has the queen of this evil race. Look at that. I'm like J.J. Abrams. I got a lens flare on the screen. It's because I'm right by the window here. Um, and it's this is the entire series, six disc set, 42 episodes. It is subtitled. It's not the awful dubs. It's the subtitling. Incredible show. Okay. Really, really well done. And great cast of characters and great acting. Um, Based on that, they made a movie called Arcadia of My Youth, which is probably it's up there in for me in one of the top 10 animes that was ever made. It's telling the story of everything that leads up to him getting outcast, and it's called Arcadia of My Youth, Captain Harlock. Uh, Incredible, tragic story. The Earth, like again, humanity is stagnant. They were easily taken over by an alien race of males called the Illumidas, and they're sucking Earth's resources dry. Food is scarce. He waged a battle against them. His girlfriend is a resistance fighter doing Arcadia free radio, providing hope. She dies. He and Harlock being stoic, he is what he is, and he's to quote what everybody calls Samuel L. Jackson, he's a badass motherfucker. Bottom line, um, in this movie, and we get to see how he gets his ship, the Arcadia. We get to see him do space battles. Just incredibly awesome, awesome stuff. Before they did any of the other stuff, that's when Eternity Comics thought they had acquired the rights to the Captain Harlock cartoon to make comic books. I've got a few of them here. The first one is Captain Harlock Returns, which is a graphic novel reprinting the first 4 issues. Okay. The artwork is by Ben Dunn. The scripts for the comic are written by Robert Gibson. And I love Ben Dunn. I love Captain Harlock. And I loved small 80s press, indie black and white books. So this was a no brainer for me. Collects the first 4 issues. And then this they put out. This is the original television scripts. They ended up, and I'll explain after I'm done showing the books. They thought they had the rights to Captain Harlock, the shows, comic rights, all that stuff, but they didn't, and I'll explain. Um, so they dubbed the first 4 or 5 episodes, maybe 6, I think, into English. Dubbing wasn't great, but this contains all the original scripts here. Okay. And this is from Antarctic Press, which is the company that Ben Dunn started. From 1993 magazine, this is an all-issue Captain Harlock. Now we get to the actual issues here. Eternity Comics, Captain Harlock #1, #2, 3. Then we skip to 9, #9. I have 2 copies of #11. I don't know why. #13. And then one of the mini-series. This is drawn by Tim Eldred. This is Captain Harlock, Death Shadow Rising #1. Death Shadow Rising #2. I prefer Ben Dunn's artwork over Tim Eldred, honestly. Then they also did the Pirate Queen Emeraldus #1. I got 2 copies of #1, #2, #3, and I'm missing #4 from that. Now, the story on the licensing rights for that series between Eternity and the guy who represented himself as, uh, you know, selling the rights for Toei, which created the cartoon, um, sold them the rights to everything for a certain amount of money, but it turns out he didn't hold the rights to sell them. They published that book, the comic books, and did all that stuff with the videos. all between like 1987, 88 to 1992, 93 when they realized they honestly did not have the rights. And so they had to stop publishing. Boom, bottom line. Okay. Um, and that kind of sucked because I couldn't get my Captain Harlock fix. And you got to remember back then in the 80s and 90s, the only way to get anime was either through tape clubs online where you'd send blank tapes and they'd record them. Sometimes they'd be fan subs, sometimes they wouldn't, and you wouldn't know what was going on. So I needed my fix of Captain Harlock. But they did continue making Captain Harlock videos and OVAs and DVDs that were kind of good, and some maybe not as good. Like this one is Captain Harlock's Acadia the Youth Endless Orbit SSX. And then we had from the creator of Star Blazers and Queen Emeraldus, the Harlock Saga. Space Pirate Captain Herlock. Yeah, this was put out by Pioneer. I don't know why they messed up his name. It's Harlock, but he is also known as Herlock. And then I really liked this updated CGI motion capture version uh, of Harlock Space Pirate, added to his mythos, shows the connection between him and the person who built the Arcadia, which was Toshiro, his best friend and the lover of Queen Emeraldus, and his special dark matter engine, which allows Harlock to basically live forever, be invulnerable, and just be Billy Badass. Really, really cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Okay. Now, as far as the original anime goes, that story has been retold. Um, and it started right here. Uh, this came out, God, when did this get published here? Let's find out. Um, this was put out by Seven Seas Publishing as well. This is from 2015. It is a 10-volume retelling of the original Captain Harlock manga, done by one of Leiji Matsumoto's proteges, and it's called Captain Harlock Space Pirate: The Dimensional Voyage. And I thought the art, it is much more modern manga art, incredibly cool stuff, real great fine line artwork. There we go. And of course, I had to get all 10 volumes, just had to have them. This happened to be an official Toei publication based on the original TV film series, Captain Harlock. And it's just a cool little guide to the characters, gives you some background of the Mazone Space Fleet. Yeah, that's the name of the female plant aliens that want to take over. And then character bios. Yeah, and the queen alien, her name is Queen Lafretia. They just put in actual designs of the characters here. And then I like this too. They got this fold out of the spaceships. There it is. The y- the Arcadia or the Death Shadow, can't remember which. They use them intermittently. And then the Z-Wing fighters that Captain Harlock used. Uh, and then synopsis of the story and a brief episode guide covering the first 6 episodes. So that was fun to find. And get that, I actually found this when I was living in LA. I was 18 at a comic shop there. I remember paying 10 whole dollars for it. And in the 80s, $10 was a lot of money to pay for something like that. Okay. And then last but not least, just recently, I'd say in the last 4 years or so, a company called Ablaze put out a 6-issue miniseries. My stack is so big of Captain Harlock, again retelling the uh, or Mazone, excuse me, alien invasion storyline here. The reason my stack is so big and not just 6 comics is because I've got all these variants and free comic book day stuff in there. Like there's a free comic book day, you know, for Space Pirate. That's a black and white retailer incentive. There's cover A, there's B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, I got a bunch of them. And then we get on to issue number 2. Oh, and there's another number 2 here on the back. Number 3. Another number 3. Then we get on to issue number 4, 5, number 6, and I think my friend the Mat Man Heroes for Hire Comic Club will like that. This copy of number 6, yeah, by Ablaze is, of course, a homage, as you can see, to Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, and then the regular cover to issue 6, which completes it. Okay. Um, Hope you guys enjoyed my brief take on Captain Harlock, and will help you go out, try to find these books for yourself, read them, and learn a little bit more about a really awesome, not really an anti-hero, but an outlaw hero, because he does have a strict moral code. He fights evil and injustice and does a lot of good stuff. He's not like the Punisher or the Watchmen where there's shades of gray, he's very boom, right down the line. And God, I wish I could be that good. He's that awesome. All right. But don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment if you wish, and if you like the video, and feel free to share it with other people, get them involved. I still have the 200 subscriber giveaway going on. I'm at 53 subs right now. So I appreciate all the support and help we can get. All right. And at that point, be good to one another. Love everybody if you can. Buy what you like as far as your comics go, and read what you buy and like what you buy. That way, no matter what happens in this crazy market of comics, we're always happy. And make it a blessed rest of your Friday. Bye now.